The following is a presentation of Retro Sports Network, home of the champions of the past, present, and or future. Why, hi everybody, my name is Ron Chuckett, and it's time once again for another episode of Uncle Ron's Golf Universe, where today from the birthplace of golf, St. Andrews, Scotland, we'll see a match in a battle of the network stars. Johnny Miller, NBC stalwart analyst, will go against Nick Faldo, the main guy from CBS and before that ABC, on a place where Nick Faldo won the 1990 Open Championship, the birthplace of golf, designed by Mother Nature, the creator, or whatever else you want to call it, and shaped by others. But the course so historic that it is the birthplace of golf, St. Andrews. So that's what we have for you. The rules of Uncle Ron's Golf Universe is this. We play 18 holes. Whoever has a better score after 18 holes wins. If they're tied, they're tied. But we do want to get a complete round of golf in. And where else can you do it in Scotland? Now, the natural defenses for a links course is the wind. And we have the wind set at moderate. The rough is normal. And the green speeds are normal and all that. So on the first hole, for instance, the modifier is minus 25 yards. All right, so let's get right to it. So Johnny Miller, who won 2 majors over the course of his career, the 1973 U.S. Open at Oakmont, where he might be shy telling you he shot a 63, and Nick Faldo, who won 3 Open championships, 2 at Muirfield and 1 here in 1990 at St. Andrews, along with 3 Masters. So a combined total of 8 major championships here on the line, and 2 of the most knowledgeable and better analysts in television history. Let's get right to it. The first tee, right in front of the clubhouse here at St. Andrews. And so Johnny Miller gets the honors. And as you can see, at minus 25 for the yardage there. A short opening hole with no bunkers in the generous fairway. Only issue being the swell it can burn, and we'll see that again off the 18th tee when we're done. That runs down the right side of the fairway and across the face of the green. As with everything at St. Andrews, the wind dictates the ease of this hole. It can be a long iron off the tee in a lob wedge or a driver in a mid-iron. Players should avoid going after a hole location towards the front of the green. And where's the pin today? Pretty much at the front of the green. So the wind's going left to right from 10. It's a flat course. And that fairway is 93 yards wide from bridge to bridge, even at the narrow spot. So Miller will play a controlled drive off the tee. Gets a good roll. And he gets a 242. So he's going to have at least a pitching wedge, if not a 9-iron, to get home. But he's safely on the surface. And the gusts are blowing there. He lost 43 yards off the tee. Nick Faldo isn't all that long off the tee either. A good drive for him is 290. That won't get there today. He will not go with the controlled. Length is good. And the crowd likes that. And that got a long, long roll. My goodness. A 21-yard roll, and he now has 75 yards left to the pin here in the first hole. A fortuitous roll, which Miller didn't get. 128. Now it's a 10-yard difference, so he'll play this with the pitching wedge. A full pitching wedge, and then crosswind from left to right at 5. Sunny conditions as we play the first hole, but just breezy. That's what you get. And Miller missed it 11 yards to the right, but he's in good position for a 2-putt par. It's about the best he could do from there. Now Faldo, he's going to take a run right here for the green, but you can see all those arrows pointing towards the water. Anything short could lead to something being wet. But Faldo, short wedge in his hand, 70 yards, or 74 to be exact. Pin high, how about that? So Faldo has about 5 feet for birdie left on the first hole. Good crowd on this Saturday. Now, Miller, these greens tend to be relatively flat. The challenge on any links course is going to be keeping it on the fairway, and the best defense is the wind, and I made sure there was some defense there. So this is in match play. It's total shots. So Johnny will just 2-putt this for his par. Good first putt, leaves him 3 feet. Now, Faldo, good chance for birdie here. 5 feet down the hill. Yep, can't do much better than that. So Faldo gets a 1 under, birdie on 1. Now Miller, a tougher putt. It's on putting chart 4 or 5, but there's only one dice roll that will screw him. And that wasn't it. So Faldo birdies the first. Miller has a par. We go to the par for second, 413 yards, and you can start to see some of these humongous double greens that they'll be putting for. The ideal shot onto tee shot is a drive between Cheapy's bunker on the left at just over 300 yards and the edge of the rough on the right, which features thick gorse. Championship pin positions are often found on the high left side of the green, beyond a sharp ridge that can throw the ball left into a deep bunker or right, depending on or right towards the lower level of the green. Pin today is on the back right of that front section there. Those bunkers at 275 on the left is considered deep bunker. And there is a knob right in front of that green. So -5 on the distance, but what Nick's going to have to worry about is that left to right wind. So he'll take the driver here and aim it towards the show? No, it doesn't. So he's going to aim it towards that thick rough and hope the wind just kind of carries it over in the middle. Lots of bad stuff to the right. Crowd likes it. It's short, and he's sitting right there in the middle of the fairway with 165 to the pin. So Nick will take that. And now Johnny Miller. Pretty much the same shot, I would think. Wind's only going to shorten it 5 yards. Now he moved it over to the left. So a lot of crosswind on this hole, about 95% of that being a crosswind. Crowd likes it. And this time Miller gets the long bounce. And he's only got 126 after that 294-yard pounding right down Broadway. So Miller in better shape on the second fairway. Now Faldo has an 8-iron in his hand. Left to right 10 yards. So he's going to aim it about 11 yards left. Wow. And he went to, he went to a 7-iron and it became a 15-yard crosswind. So Faldo will play the knockdown 7 and hope that it's not too hard. It should be about 165. It's trying to get it around the pin. The knob in front of the green will not be a factor. And that didn't move at all. He actually got about a 5 yard to the left of it where he was aiming. But he's on the green. He's got about 35 feet to the pin. And hopefully can get a 2-part par from there. Now Miller, 10-yard crosswind and short 5 yards. So it's going to be a baby pitching wedge for Johnny. And he'll aim it 5 yards to the left of the pin. That should be pretty good, I would think. Should be able to cozy it up. And that's pretty cozy. Uphill 6 yards, about 18 feet. So Miller Wind wasn't as strong as they were thinking, but they're both on the second green. Now Faldo, 36 feet for birdie. He's going to go for it. This is to get to 2 under. He's got a 5 in 36 chance of making this. That's a mediocre putt. He's got 5 feet left for par. Never up, never in type thing. Now here's Miller to tie for the lead at 1 under. He's got 16 feet. That's a flat putt. And a better than 1 in a 6 chance of making this. Did not get a good roll, and he leaves himself 3 feet for par. So Faldo first. This isn't dead by any stretch. But anytime you roll doubles, that's a good putt, and Nick is in with a par at 2 to stay at 1 under. Johnny not wearing a ridiculous ski hat with a golf ball and a fuzzy top. 3 feet for par. And rolls that one rather easily, and through 2, Nick Faldo 1 under. Johnny Miller even. And now, oh, this one's downwind. Oh, will somebody try it? Another good birdie opportunity in favorable conditions. The drive should be to the right side of the fairway, kind of where the is aimed right now, which is lined with 3 pot bunkers and small gorse bushes. That's short. That is nasty. That leaves the best angle to avoid the cart gate bunker, which is that one right in front of the green, which is shaped like a crescent and cuts deeply across the left side of the green. See, if I had read that, I would have known. It's flat and 97 yards wide at the fairway and its widest. And you can see the arrows up on the green, so anything that's to the right could roll off to the 4th tee. So Nick will aim it at that little bunker and hope to draw it back. Driver in hand for Faldo here in the 3rd. Crowd's quiet, and that will miss to the right. And so Faldo smashes it 324 yards, but it's off the fairway into the rough, which is not where you want to be. That was 30 yards to the right. Now Miller going to take his 3-wood and just put the ball in play. With that 15-yard wind, that should go about 275. With a roll, maybe 280. Kyle likes it. I went 278, gives himself 130 yards. Being a downwind, he might actually be able to go in with a wedge shot. So Miller in good shape here on 3. But no, he is not given. Wow. He is not given the opportunity to spin a wedge in. So it's a full sand wedge for Miller. And he'll just aim right at the hole. Again, greens here are pretty good size, and that bunker is certainly not in play for Johnny. He missed it to the right, but got some spin, and he's got about 30 feet. I think he'll be disappointed with that. He wanted to get that one closer, and the wind just took it 9 yards to the right. So here's Faldo. Nick, you can see where there's undulation here. There's a big knob in the middle of that green. He's going to want to put it off of that. He's not going to get a lot of coming out of the gorse. This shouldn't be too difficult of a shot. And that bunker is not in play. Well, that just kind of stuck right before the knob, and so Faldo probably mishit that a bunch. And so Nick and his caddy, Fanny Sunniston, from his heyday. Fanny, by the way, is still caddying on the European Tour. Are disgusted with that shot. Now, Nick's got 50 feet for birdie, and the only thing he's going to do is try to lag this close. Well, you can't get much closer than that. Wow. He's got a foot. What a putt for Nick. So Faldo remains 1 under through 3. And now Miller will decide what he wants to do. I think he's going to go for it. He's got 3 in a 36 chance of making this putt. Gave it a good run, but only got within 2 feet. And it's a par. So through 3 holes, it's still Nick Faldo 1 under. Johnny Miller even. Okay, the 4th hole. Look at that green. The options off the tee here are to go straight at the flag down a narrow strip of fairway hemmed in by sand dunes and gores, or take a drive over the mounds on the left where the fairway widens to merge with the inward 15th. The farther left the tee shot, the more difficult the approach with the bunker on the left and the green sloping away to the right. 10 yards, the wind is against you, and the crosswinds are 20 from left to right. So Faldo will aim it at the bunker there on the left. He's going to go a driver. 280 or 275 would be a good shot. I don't think he can reach that bunker. But that's the aim spot here off the 4th tee. Or he could. Actually, kind of got lucky with it. He got on that long chart. Has 188 to the hole after a 297 drive. So Johnny Miller's going to have to be cautious because if he doesn't put it in the right spot, he may not reach that fairway. He's aiming well to the left. 295, it should be about 280 off the tee, and then that will leave him a very long iron. Won't be a wood, but it will be an iron to the green. And yeah, I was right. He wasn't going to reach the long stuff from there. And so 268 off the tee, and he's got 231 to get home. So Miller will go first. 230 is the official measurement. And wow, the wind is kind of blocked. And now he aims at 15 yards to the left, and now yard hurting wind. So he's going to take the 3-iron, but he's got to be careful. That bunker, everything's going to slope from back to front to back on this side of the green. So 3-iron for Miller here from the 4th fairway. Well, that's right. And it bounces off the fairway, and Johnny's going to have to do a little bump and run action from there. He got a positive gust of wind. He hit it too hard, and Johnny says, shucks, as he walks forward. Now, Faldo is 187. And he's going to have to aim it at that bunker with a 6-iron. So good luck, Nick. Well, he got the wind down. That ball is just rolling along, and he has 63 feet or so for birdie. So St. Andrews proving to be the easy winner so far in the first 4 holes. So Miller, oh my goodness, this is just going to be a tangle. At least he's in the short grass. Going to have to bump this up the hill. The Rear Admiral Clinton Park says, aim it 2 yards past, Johnny, and you should be fine. Well, he left it 5 yards short. He's going to have about 18 feet for par. Faldo won't mess around with this. That's a long putt, and there is plenty of undulation. So from 61 feet, get this within 5. Well, he'll be 9 feet. That was not a good putt. The greens here are not super fast. They're considered normal, and both players have misjudged them at least once so far. Miller first for par, or from 17 feet. A little better than 1 in 6 chance here of making it. And again, he leaves it about a foot short. Speeds have been tough to judge. So Johnny Miller goes to 1 over. And let's see what Nick Faldo has. Better than 50-50 shot here from 9 feet to salvage his par. Nope. A little too aggressive with that. And so Faldo, bogey 5, and he goes to even. So after 4 holes, it's still a 1-shot advantage for Faldo, who is at level par. Now the first of 2 par 5s on the course. Typically, it won't be today, the easiest hole on the old course at most championships. One of only 2 par 5s, but easily reachable in 2 shots as long as the wind is not in players' faces. That -10 that you see there for distance tells you what's in players' faces. The tee shot must avoid 7 bunkers on the right between 270 and 320 yards. The best place to lay up is between the 2 spectacle bunkers. The sheer size of the green, 92 yards from front to back. 92 yards. That's a football pitch. Can frustrate many birdie chances. So the cross 20 miles an hour. Faldo aiming towards the left. And he found the fairway, but that ball drifted 40 yards to the right, and he will definitely not be able to get home in 2. He's 321 yards away. In fact, I think it caught that gorse and popped out. Miller, 20-yard crosswind, aiming well left. Gets on the long drive chart with that, has a very good drive, 34-yard wind reduction, and he still hit it 306 yards. So Johnny did have a very good long drive, and he has 252. He might be able to get home. Now, Nicky, you see the sharp arrows there in the front of the green. That is a false front. As false as Twiggies. So he's going to go, he's got the 3-wood. He's aiming at the left side of the fairway, hoping to leave it about at 245. Past that bunker, and short enough to spin a wedge in for his 3rd. And that's exactly what he does, and he gets a generous roll, and he has 67 yards to the pin. So a good second for Nick into the wind. Now Miller, 20-yard crosswind with a 3-wood. And so anything in the front could be trouble. But if he can get on in 2, he's got a good chance to take the lead here on the 5th hole. Well, he's on in 2, and he's got about 60 feet for eagle. Not a bad shot for Miller. Now here's Faldo, 67 yards. That flag is pretty much near the top of that little ridge there, and it's a gentle slope unless it falls off. So Faldo will aim it right at the flag stick. Oh, that works. He's got himself about 2 feet for birdie to get back to 1 under par. So even with the wind, that was the right play. Now Miller, 58 feet. He will not go for this. He'll lag and take his birdie. And it's a very good lag. He's got 3 feet. And then a birdie 4, so he, for the moment, we're tied as Miller is even, or level. And Faldo taps home the birdie, so he's on, as the English would say, on 1 under. And Miller is on even, as we played 5 holes. And now the march to the sea begins. The 6th hole, 412 yards today. Into the wind, into the 20-mile-an-hour, 20-yard crosswind. The tee shot is completely blind, so bunkers to the left and right are hidden as the hole drops to a lower level beyond the gorse-covered ridge. A hidden dip runs across the front of the green, making the approach shot deceptive. Still, it should be nothing more than a wedge to a relatively flat putting surface. So the challenge here is off the tee. And Faldo is going to aim this to the left. And that is a magnificent shot. I think he got on the long drive. Yes, he did. So he actually pounded that baby 301 yards. He has 117 to the pin. Same deal for Miller. 15-yard penalty. It's about 280s where he wants to hit it. Crowd likes it. That ball got a lot of roll. And somehow he hit that 297. So both players in great shape off the tee here. John actually got the wind to drop a bit. That went from a hurting wind of 15 to a hurting wind of 4. So Miller right behind Faldo here in the 6th fairway. But Johnny is not given the wedge chance. Take a look at the green. You can see in that big stinking hill on the right front where Johnny's aiming. The green slopes from right to left. And so it's going to be a difficult putt. Although, if it doesn't swing from left to right, it'll be an uphill putt. Certainly easier. And I think Mr. Miller will take that 10 times out of 9. 15 feet for birdie from there. Faldo again he doesn't get the wedge one either. He's just going to try to spin a sand wedge in there. 10-yard crosswind. Oh, and that stuck. It was a good shot, but it stuck on that knob. And Nick is going to have a chip shot, a very delicate chip shot. He could technically putt that, and I think he will. So 44 feet. Just get this to around 5 feet and take your par and get out of here. And that's what he'll do. It was a very good roll, about 4 feet, and Nick's got a great chance to stay at 1 under. Now Miller, 13 feet to tie the round. Flat putting surface. Just about a 1 in 3 chance of hitting this. Oh, he thought he hit it. And it just was about 2 rolls short. So no gain. Miller in with a par here at 6. And Faldo with the easy par putt. And we are tied going to 7. Now this one is downwind. This starts the famous St. Andrews Loop, a 6-hole span of short par 4s and 2 par 3s. On the only true dogleg on the old course, most players will hit an iron to a flat area beyond a large mound where the 7th and 11th holes cross. This green is guarded by the shell bunker and slopes from left to right. I think Nicky's just going to try and take a 3-wood and just pound it into position. Oh, and he's stuck in the rough. He's just not long enough. He got 23 yards on that and lost most of his roll. So Miller's going to play with the driver and aim it towards the left. And that's why you do it. That kind of bounced once in the course and then bounced out. He's at 296 and has 95 yards, so he should be able to spin a wedge in. Now Faldo at 121, not a bad lie. I mean, the rough and gorse here, the equivalent to a gnarly-haired Scottish lass from 1865. You can see where it slopes around. He's got to be very careful. That pin is right on top of a knob. Anything short rolls towards the front of the green. Anything long will roll to the right. And he overcooked it. And so he's got 14 yards. He missed that by a lot. But he's on the fairway. Par is probably reasonable, though. Miller's got to pitch it over the bunker. 95 yards. Again, the Admiral says leave it a yard short. And take your chances. And that's what Johnny does, and he leaves it 2 yards long, but he is in very, very good shape to get a birdie and maybe tie this match at 1 under. So Faldo will putt. 42 feet. Lag this one home. And a good effort. Leaves it 5 feet short. Not a great putt, but it's a par chance coming up. Now Miller, 7 feet, relatively, I want to say just down the hill, but a 2/3 of a chance to tie this. And he hit it too hard. He hit it too hard. But Faldo has the par putt first. He's got 5 feet. And this is kind of a sidewinder. But he makes it. And so he remains at 1 under through 7. Now Miller, this is to stay. I mean, this is pretty easy. 3-footer. And knocks it dead center. So after 7, 1 under for Faldo, and Mr. Miller is level. Now the only par 3 in the outward 9, with the skyline of St. Andrews and its prominent towers and steeples on the horizon. Depending on the wind, this can be a short iron or a 5-iron. A large green is partially obscured by a ridge, and while relatively flat, the tough hole location behind a vertical face bunker on the left side. So there's 5 yards, and this one's blowing right to left at 10. So Faldo aims it to the right, and now he's got to go about 170. It's a 7-iron. I think he's going to hit it full. Oh, what a shot. Yeah, he read that right. He got another 6-yard killer with the gust, and he puts it to within 20 feet of the hole, 21 feet. So a good shot from Faldo. Didn't like it off the tee, but it finds the putting surface. Now, Miller has an interesting conundrum here because he's really in between clubs. So baby 7, and the crosswind is 15 yards. He hit it a little bit too hard, but there wasn't much he could do. He's on the putting surface, and a 2-putt par will be acceptable from here. 52 feet. Lag time. Oh, what a beautiful lag. Beautiful lag, and Miller will take that par every time. So he's in for his 3. And now Faldo from 19 feet has a better than 1 in 6 chance of making this. This would be for a 2-shot lead. Oh, he thought he made that, but he didn't. And he barely made that. 2-4 is the roll from death. But the secondary roll, which you did not see, was good. And so through 8 holes, it's still Faldo at 1 under and Miller at even. So we go to 9th. This might play as a long par 3 for some big hitters because of the green is relatively flat with no trouble in front of it, making it reachable off the tee. Not today, not with the wind against you. Gore bushes creep close to the left edge of the green, but there's a wide, expansive fairway between the gores and the 2 bunkers on the right. And that's where Faldo is aiming, to that top bunker on the right, because it's a 20-yard crosswind from right to left here on 9. That fairway, by the way, is 81 yards. It's on, and it's safe. 269 off the tee with a driver. It leaves him 81 yards. See where that pin is? He's going to have to aim that in the middle of the green just to get it on the left edge. Miller says, don't mind if I copy you, Nick. And he got a monster roll. Wow, what did he hit? He's getting some huge rolls. He only lost 10 yards off the tee and then got a 20-yard bounce. So he's only 50 yards away. But that wasn't considerably longer at all. All right, Faldo, 80 yards, second shot. Green is pretty gentle. The Admiral says, go right at it, Nick. Fanny agrees. And Nick barely got it on the putting surface. It's a GIR, but he missed 6 yards short and left. Miller from 50. The Admiral says 3 yards to the right and long. And Miller just trying to cozy it up there. Left leaves it about 8 feet short. So Faldo, 17 feet for birdie. Flat putting chart. Better than 1 in 6 chance from here. Johnny's got 9 feet. And he hit it too hard. He's got 3 feet coming back. There's Miller. 9 feet. 50-50 shot for here to tie it up. Yes, sir! So Johnny knocks that home and Miller is 1 under. So he goes out in 35. And Faldo goes out in 35. So here's the score sheets. Miller has not missed a fairway, missed 1 green. Faldo has missed, I think, 1 fairway and 2 greens. 17 putts for Miller and 15 for Nick. And so we go to the backside. We're coming in to the 10th. 379 off the tee. Wind only a 5-mile-an-hour hurt, but again, that left to right, 20 yards. And so Miller's going to play down the left side. In calm conditions, this is another par 4 that can be reached off the tee. The landing area is tighter with the rough to the left and 2 small bunkers on the right, about 290. The green slopes much more than the 9th hole, falling away from a raised front. But for now, he's just going to aim it right down the left side and hope it misses that bunker on the right. And that's exactly what he does. He gets a very favorable roll, and it's 296. He's got 85 yards to the pin. Monkey see, monkey do. And Nick likes it, and that will stay short of the there on the right. He's got 94 yards. So both golfers have hit the fairway. So 93 yards. It's a tough chart here. You can see where the green slopes away drastically in the front. And if you can get over that false front, and then it just kind of meanders down to the hole and in the back right. That's a perfect shot for Faldo. My goodness. He left it 2 yards short and it rolled 3 yards past, but he at least has an uphill birdie putt to get to 2 under. Now Miller, 84 yards, pretty much the same deal. This is a difficult shot. And Johnny leaves it right by the pin. How about that? What a shot for Miller. And they both have birdie chances. In fact, Faldo 8 feet up the hill. Better than 2/3 chance. No, not quite 2/3, but very makeable from here. And Miller has a gimme birdie from 2 feet. And Faldo watched that crawl in the hole, and so he goes to 2 under through 10. Now Johnny, yep, that's a tap in. So both golfers playing well, 2 under through 10 holes. And now the other par 3. Oh my gosh. The final par 3 and a far more intimidating one than the other. It could be anything from a 9-iron to a 3-iron, depending on the wind. The green is guarded by bunkers so severe that Bobby Jones once tore up his card after 3 swings in one of them. A ball in the straight bunker in the front of the green could require players to go backwards. The green slopes severely to the front. So orange is dead and red is riveting. So it's a 10-yard left to right play, and you need 10 yards off the tee. And you can see off the back of that green where it slopes down into the thick stuff. So 6-iron for Miller, and he's just going to aim it at the hole. If it goes 10 yards right, it goes 10 yards right. It goes right, but it stays on the surface, 20 yards away, so 60 feet, but safe. Now Faldo will go with the 6. Ooh, that's not even 10. So Faldo now on a hope and a prayer here on the 11th tee. This is the bunker. Uh-oh, it's rolling off. It's rolling. Oh, no. Oh, no. He put it in the lip of the bunker. We can't show you what Nick said it was like. So he's got to chip backwards out of the bunker, which he did, and so he lies too. I'm not even going to try to describe that mess, except for if you see that on your plane radar, you are in a lot of trouble. 3 yards short, and hope it trickles down, and take your 4 and get out. And he leaves himself about 12 feet for bogey. That's not impossible, but don't give it all away. So Johnny Miller will lag this from 58 feet. And he nearly made it. He left it 3 feet short. And that is, Miller's just going, yep, yep. So Faldo, 11 feet for bogey. And it's a little bit better than 1 in 6, but not much. And he misses it by 5 feet. That was not a good putt. And Nick isn't even dead for his double bogey. He could go from 2 under to 1 over. Nick is steaming. Just too much. It was in between clubs. Got a decent chance of making this, but it's not stone dead. He rolls a double, and he'll take it, but he goes back. Now Johnny Miller 3 feet for his par. And that's in. So through 11 holes, Johnny Miller now leads by 2. He's 2 under par. And the short hole is deceptive, the 12th, because of 4 bunkers that are hidden from the tee. Craig Wood first drove the green in the 1933 Open, and Sammy Snead did it in 1946. A top level of a 2-tier green is only 12 paces deep and demands the utmost accuracy. With a wedge, look for most players to go for the green. And that's what Johnny Miller is going to do. He's not going to mess around. I don't think he can get there, but he's going. And, oh, he's in the lassie's hair bin. I'll need a hair tie to find that, but 50 yards in the rough. Faldo will go with a 3-wood. Not going to mess around with it. Just put it in play and rebound from the double. And that's exactly what he did not do. He's in the front of another bunker. That's not good. He got a gust of positive wind, which took the penalty down from 24 to 13. So Faldo, 93 yards, but he can get it up and out. Oh my gosh. So 1 yard to the right. Don't miss it short and right. He missed it short, but he didn't miss it right. So up and down for par. And hopefully Miller will have some trouble. And Miller, because he's in the thick gorse, in the hay field, as we say, has to go the next chart up. Oh my gosh. But Johnny leaves himself with 15 feet for birdie. So Faldo steaming at this. He cannot putt it. He thought he could, but it's too far. Good luck with this. Right at the pin, the Admiral says. And Nick will get his par, we hope. About 5 feet, 4 feet. Now Miller for a 3-shot lead. Just about a 1 in 3 chance of making this up the hill. Nope. So Johnny will tap in for his par. And Nick makes his par. So through 12 holes, Johnny Miller 2 under, Nick Faldo at even or level. Now, you're not going for this 13th hole here. A brutal string of holes as we make the march inland. Begins with a shot that must avoid a line of coffin bunkers down the left side. The approach could require a long iron, which must carry the entire way to a green that's slightly elevated and should stand left of the flag. The shallow hollow filled with rough on the left and a deep bunker on the right guard the entrance to the green. Right to left crosswind about 20. And Johnny's just going to go with this with his 3-wood. And he hit the perfect shot, and he hit it perfectly right in the bunker. He is 200 yards. Good luck. Faldo. Three-wood. Yep, that's the right play. That's what Miller was trying to do. Faldo aimed it right at the bunker. Got it to go 17 yards to the left and hit 260. He's got 184 to get home, but he might be able to get one of those 2 shots back. Miller, oh my goodness. Can he even get it there? No. He cannot get it there. And this is one of those take your medicine shots and just put the ball back into play. He has no shot at the green, and you do not want to put it in the gorse. And his chip rolls long, and he's in the rough. So he lies 3, or His second shot ends with 144 yards, and he's not on the short grass. Faldo 183. Going to aim it right at the center and go at this with a 6-iron. A par might get both those shots back. And a birdie might put him back in the lead. What a beautiful shot by Nick Faldo. He's got 15 feet for birdie. Now Miller, 143. He's going to get some help with the wind. So he aims it to the right. He's on. But he's got 30 feet for par. Got 29 feet for par, to be exact. So does he go for it? I think he does. Risky putt, but a par is a par. And Nicky has 13 feet for his birdie. Good effort. Doubles never hurt you. But it was a bridge too far. And Miller taps it. Oh, barely. You never want to see a 2-4 roll on a putt. Now Faldo to knot this match up at 1 under, 13 feet, little better than 1 and 6. Just missed it. Well, it's a 1-stroke match after 13. Johnny Miller with the bogey still at 1 under, or on 1 under, and Nick Faldo is on level. As we go to the long par 5 at 14th hole, an out-of-bounds wall. Yes, a wall. Runs down the right side, and a group of 4 Beardies bunkers on the left require a 250-yard carry into the wind. The second shot should be played toward the 5th fairway to avoid Hell's bunker, that big giant thing that looks like it's giving you the middle finger. Into the wind, this is a 3-shot par 5. It's into the wind, it's a 3-shot par 5. The face of the green rises steeply before dropping away and left. Faldo driver in his hand. Crowd likes it. Oh boy. But he only hit it 243 yards. Oh my goodness. He mishits it, but he'll take it. It's in the short stuff. Miller aiming way to the right. Hits it farther than Nicky, but still has 310 to get home. Faldo has 338. And he's actually going to aim for that 5th fairway with a 3-iron and play a long pitch. And he hit it too hard. It rolls through the fairway and into the rough. That's a toughie. Now Miller. He's just going to whack-a-doodle this one. He can get it there. This will be about 250. And he hits it over Hell. And he's now safely on, or safely in the fairway with 56 yards. He found purgatory. That's the word I was thinking of. So Faldo at 128. And he's just going to take a 9-iron and whack-a-doodle this one for his 3rd. And that will not stay on. Oh, and that's going to roll all the way off the front. And he's got about 90 feet or 100 feet for birdie. Or a par. Miller. You can... Oh my goodness gracious. Okay, so you got about a 3-foot window here to get this close. The Admiral says go for it. And Miller left it well short, and that won't even stay on the green. That's gone. He's further away than Faldo. So Miller will lob his third. Doesn't want any bump and run here. You just got to get this up and there. And that's a good shot. He's about 4 feet or the 4 yards to the left, so about 10, 12 feet for par. And Faldo can putt this. 97-foot lag. Good luck. He hit it 9 feet past the hole. He got too aggressive with it. But they're both on for par. Miller first. About a 1 in 3 chance. This is to stay at 1 under. Nope. Not a good putt. And he's level. Now Faldo, 9 feet to stay level. 50-50 shot up the hill. Yes, sir! So through 14 holes, we're right back to where we were in 1. Everybody 6-2 and even. Let's go to the 15th. The Sutherland bunker in the middle of the fairway could be a factor into the wind, and you're going to lose 5 yards, and that wind is blowing right to left at 20. The fairway tightens at about 300. These two aren't getting there. And the drive should be aimed at the church steeple between the two hillocks. The approach is open to a sloping green, but it should be a high shot to avoid the humps and bumps in front. So Nick is just going to rip this one right down Broadway, and if it misses left, there's a lot of fairway. Don't go long. Crowd likes it. Nick's got a good roll. 206 to the pin, 270 off the tee. Second verse, same as the first. And that's actually, even though that is well left, he pushed that 50 yards to the left. That is just fine, thank you. Johnny Miller has a good angle to the green. He needs 206 to get it in. So Nicky first at 205. He's going to lose 10 yards, and it's a 15-yard crosswind from right to left. He's going to go with a 4, which puts him on the wedge or the wood chart and not the iron chart. So Nick just trying to get this close. Both players are at even par through 14. And that's going to roll. That hit hard and kept on going. No breaks there. He's got about 40 feet for birdie. Now Miller, pretty much the same shot, but he's not going to go with the 4-iron. He's going to stick with the 5. Take your par and move on. Wow, what a roll. That didn't stop at all. He's got about 33 feet for birdie. So Faldo from 39 is going to give this one a roll. Less than a 1 in 6 shot from 39 feet, but it is makeable. And that's not bad. He left himself 4 feet short. Rather be 4 feet short than 10 feet long. Johnny Miller says, I'm just going to tease this right up here. 3 feet. So it should be 2 pars here on 15. Faldo converts his from 4. Miller should make this one easily from 3. Yes. So we go to the 16th. Still at even par. The 424-yard par 4 is into the wind. With a right to left crosswind at 10. The fence that marks the route of the old railway into St. Andrews runs down the right side of the entire hole. Yep, and it's still an active railway, leaving only a narrow strip of fairway between the fence and the cluster of 3 bunkers called the Principal's Nose. The drive should be left of those 3 bunkers to set up an open shot to a green that rises sharply at the front and is guarded by a bunker front and behind. So a 3-wood. Really? That's where I want to aim it? To the left of those bunkers? Okay. Well, it's safely on the fairway, and that's all Faldo cares about. 200 to get to the pin. Someone's going to be aggressive here. Like he was at Oakmont in 73. And he hits it over the bunkers. It took a fortuitous bounce between that second and third bunker and bounces over them. And so he's got 2 off the tee and 164 to get home. Wow. Fortuitous is the word. So here's Faldo. He's got 200. He's going to lose 20 yards just from the wind. We'll leave that one up there again. Anything short's just going to run off towards those bunkers. Aim it to the fence. And a knockdown 3-iron. Good luck. He got it. Oh, he curled that one up. What a shot from Nicky. He's got 7 yards. So that's not impossible. Now, Miller will lose 15, and it'll go right to left at 5. We're not worried about that. We'll play 178. 7-iron. He's just going to aim it right there. And he actually... Uh-oh. Is that in the bunker? No. The thick collar of rough prevented it from going in that pop bunker. He just hit it hard. And so Miller... Oh, look at that. That is a ridge. Sir Edmund Hillary would be happy with that one. So Johnny's going to have to hit that just at the top of the hill and hopes it rolls all the way to the pin. And that's exactly what he did. He's got 5-6 feet for par, but at least he's got a shot at par. Now Faldo, 21 feet. He's going for this. With the road hole coming up, he could win this match right here. And he left it a foot short. Oh. Par for Faldo. Now Miller from 5 feet. Relatively flat putted, is going downhill slightly. And that's good. So we head back to the village of St. Andrews, and this shot gives you no indication of just how tough this hole is. The road hole is the most famous in the open rotation, with a reputation as the toughest par 4 in championship golf. It is, without question. An additional 40 yards, playing 455 for them today. Means the drive should carry 260 over a replica rail sheds to reach the right edge of the fairway. The approach should be to the right half of the green to avoid the road hole bunker. Anything long will result in a shot from the road behind the green. You are not making par if you don't find the green in 2. And so Faldo is going to tempt fate here with a driver. You cannot see this. If you've ever watched the Open from St. Andrews, this is a blind shot. Nick Faldo has as good of a chance of making this fairway as Stevie Wonder. He has found the fairway. Actually, no, it rolled off the other side. So 177 to get home. Miller, 281. That crosswind is going to make this almost an impossible shot. You don't want to aim it right to left, but you do not have much of a chance. That is a hotel right here. In fact, it's where we all stayed. And Miller has missed the fairway. So 200 yards in the rough. That is just such a difficult tee shot. think the other, oh, and that's in the deep rough. He is forced to play out with a 7-iron. He's going to aim this to the right. And that's a magnificent shot. I can't tell you how good of a shot that was. The wind kind of died down for him. And so he's just off the green. He's going to putt from there, I would imagine. Now Faldo will aim it to the right. He's going to play a 6-iron. And that's fine. He's fine with it. So Miller will lag this from 87 feet. Faldo is 65, and no one's going for this. And almost, that actually hit the hole and bounced out. From 87 feet, he left that 2 feet short. He wasn't going to make it. Oh, he might have. It actually got a secondary roll. It hit the hole and bounced out. Eat your heart out, Terry Wogan. Or Sir Terry. So par for Miller. Now Faldo will not go for this. But if he rolls a 6-6, it's a secondary roll, which we won't see. Nope, 5 feet past. So a good chance to make this, 28 out of 36. And he missed it. He missed it. He knocked it 3 feet past. So Nick trying to control the emotions. Goes to 1 over. We go to the 18th. Johnny Miller at level par. On level par. Leads by 1. So after all this, after 16 holes of majorly tough championship golf, we go to the closing hole, a short, simple, and dramatic one. It can be reached from the tee, but a road runs along the right side. It's out of bounds. And the shots toward the green, the first and the second, must carry a swale known as the Valley of Sin. Think Constantino Rocca in the 95 Open Championship. The most famous part of the hole is the Swillican Bridge, which you can barely see here. Driver time for Miller. Winds blow howling right to left, moving at 20 yards, and right into that clubhouse. Over the road. Leaves himself 68 yards. Good shot for Miller. Same play for Faldo. Crowd likes it over the road. And so 292 off the tee. You can play this course, by the way. It's open 6 days a week during golf season. There's only one Sunday a year when it's not open. There's only one Sunday a year where they play golf, because 51 Sundays a year, this is a public park. True story. And it's, well, 2 when it's the host of the Open. But for the Dunhill Cup, they play this here on a Sunday. But 51 weeks a year, the public can walk along the course on a Sunday. Now Miller, 68 yards. Get this close to win. Front of that green is just as false as Twiggy's bra. And if you're not going to go long and left, and now let's slam this drastically too. Hit it hard, long, 8 yards. So he's got 25 feet. Now Faldo has 55 yards. Same shot. There's a little bit of a flat space there, so he can land this above the false front and tie this if he gets it really close. Well, he missed it left, but that's uphill from feet, so we could end this thing in a tie. Miller's got to go for it. Win. Level par. Not likely to make this, but never up, never in territory. 23 feet down a hill. And he went 4 feet long. That's not difficult to do. Wasn't a great putt, but it wasn't bad. Now, Faldo, to tie the match, or to have the match, has a 1 in 4 chance of doing that. 14 feet. He does! And after 18 holes, Nicky shoots a 72. Now Miller to have the match. He does. And so that will do. And so it's halved. The battle of the network stars belongs to NBC, CBS, and ABC. Because Faldo was an announcer in ABC. But everybody wins because they both work for the Golf Channel. Yay! So Miller, you can see the stats there, 32 putts. They both hit the same amount of greens, and Johnny hit one more fairway. Johnny struggles on 13 and 14. We're the difference. And Faldo with that big birdie coming off the bogey at 17. So a good round of golf. Make sure I hit this right. All right. So that'll do. So they have the match in Uncle Ron's Golf Universe at 72 aside. St. Andrews played with defense, and of course on a day where we get to play at St. Andrews, everybody wins. That was a good round of golf. Next live stream is Sunday at 4 p.m. Eastern. It's hockey right here on the Retro Sports Network. It's the 1993 playoff matchup between the Toronto Maple Leafs and the Detroit Red Wings, as requested by Mark Russell on an all-request weekend. Thanks to Baseball Demos for this request. That game will come to you at 4 o'clock Eastern tomorrow afternoon from the Joel in Detroit between the Loops and the Wings. And Monday night, it's the Clinton Park 74th. He's old enough. It's the Clinton Park 64th birthday special. An actual match play match between Lee Trevino and Chichi Rodriguez from Doral. How about that? 7 or 7:30 Eastern for that. So live golf for you Monday night. It's Lee Trevino and Chichi Rodriguez, or Rodriguez as Les Nessman, or Chai Rodriguez as Les Nessman would say. And so that'll do it for me. I'm Ron Juckett. Thank you so much for watching. We'll talk to you live Sunday and Monday right here on Retro Sports Network.